Peru is home to one of the unique civilizations of mankind's history, the Incas. Today, we're in the presence of new ambassador to South Africa from Peru, His Excellency Jorge Rubio. How are you today, Ambassador?
Thank you very much. Thank you for this invitation.
Could you elaborate, Excellency, in your personal and diplomatic experience so far in South Africa?
I entered to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Peru in the 80s, in 1982. My first step in Africa was last November when I arrived to South Africa. So this is my first experience in Africa. It's impressive. We are very happy, my family and me. My wife and me are very happy. And I think we have many things to do here in Africa. I work in many countries, in South America, in North America, in Europe. But my first experience is this one in South Africa. We are very happy to work here.
Thank you. Can you describe bilateral relations between Peru and South Africa?
Yes. We began our diplomatic relations in 1994, and we have many things to do. We just signed a MOU of political consultations last March. So from now we have many new agreements to sign. Our relationship is very important in multilateral affairs. We are a member now of the Security Council of United Nations. And in multilateral affairs, we have many things in common, like we have in our societies. But our bilateral relation, we have a trade commercial amount, very few, very short, that we have to increase, and we have to work a lot in many areas of our bilateral relation. We have to translate our multilateral politicals to the bilateral relation. This is our idea.
Are there any business opportunities for South Africa interested in your country? Are there any channels like chambers of commerce or your own trade office that could help in this?
Yes. Peru is a free market country, and we have an open border for investment. And there are many important enterprises that have important investment in Peru. Goldfish, for example, they invest a lot of money in mining, and there are very good opportunities in mining affairs in Peru. Also, Hans Merensky Holdings is a very important enterprise that they bought some land in Peru for exporting agro-exportation products to Europe, I think. No, and there are many opportunities. And in the other sides also. In the embassy, I received many Peruvian enterprises that have many interested in Namibia, in Botswana, in Zambia, and in South Africa also. But we expect to have more enterprises to invest in Peru soon.
The uniqueness of the Peruvian cuisine has taken over the classical Chinese and Italian food. Can you elaborate about it?
Yes. No, we have an explosion of our food in the last 20, 30 years ago. And there are Peruvian restaurants, very good Peruvian restaurants in the most important countries. If you go to Madrid, if you go to Paris, to Buenos Aires, and United States, London, you will get a very important Peruvian restaurant. Our food is for exportation now. And we need to create a restaurant here. I think there was in Cape Town once, but I think this is an issue that we have to work a lot. There is a catering, a very popular catering of Peruvian here. This is maybe the most important catering in Pretoria, maybe. No, but Norma and Vilma, they are Peruvian catering and are very popular in all embassies in this city and in Johannesburg. We have to work a lot in this area, and we were going to organize a gastronomic festival in the next month.
That's great. What can you tell us about the presence of the African diaspora in Peru?
Peru is a multicultural country, multilingual. We have, Peru is associated with all races. We have a very important Chinese population. We have a very important European and African also. And the African populations are in Peru for 200, 300 years. And it's very important in the cultural affairs, it's very important in the cook, very important in the sports. No, all the Peruvian cultural affairs are involved with Africans diaspora. No, the most important sportsmen and sportwomen in Peru, most of us are African. Our football players, our athletics sportsmen and women. No, we have a very important culture. The dance, the typical dance. We have a very important dance group that named Peru Negro. That is very popular around the world. The African diaspora has been very important in the build of our cultural affairs and in build the Peru that we live today.
The ruins of Machu Picchu at Cusco are one of the most visited landmarks in the world. What can you tell us additionally as an attraction for South Africans keen to go and visit your so beautiful country?
There are 2,000 of South Africa that visit Peru each year. No, it's important. But I think that not many people know about my country here in South Africa. Of course, the people that went to Peru went to Kathmandu maybe, no, or New Delhi. No, there are people that travel all around the world. But I would like the society of South Africa and the society of Peru know each other better, no, and the Peru is a country with a very ancient civilization. No, our first civilizations began 3,000 years before Christ. So we are talking about 5,000 years of civilization, different civilization in my country. The people know Incas, but the Inca was the end of the Peruvian civilizations. No, before we have the Paracas, Chimu, Mochica, many civilizations before the Inca. The Inca was the last build of civilization. And in Peru we have 3 different regions. We have the coast with 3,000 kilometers of beach for surfing, for many things. We have the mountains with most of the civilization born there, and the coast also, but especially in the mountains. And we have the jungle. The 60% of our territory is jungle. So in Peru you have a very diversity places and regions to know. We are a biological diverse country, also multicultural, multilingual, multiracial country. We have many things in common with South Africa.
Thank you so much for sharing today. Any last words for our readers and viewers, Ambassador Rubio?
Thank you very much to you for the invitation.